Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and today we have Unicron versus the Scarlet King. This was one of the few matchups I didn't bother revealing because I want it to be an actual surprise for you guys, as I will be finishing up the verses and the superhero wave at the same time, so we can get to the Transformers and Godzilla content. And again, I will not be going into full detail when it comes to the powers and the overall abilities of the primes and a little bit of their lore, because I want to save that for the video. You guys should see one of the promotional or the actual thumbnail for it. So yeah, please stay tuned for that when the Transformers wave actually hits. So without further ado, let's start off with the Scarlet King. Now the SCP cosmology isn't that hard to really perceive here. You have many universes, all infinite in size. Each of these universes belong to a multiverse, all infinite in size. Again, multiple multiverses. So again, these multiverses are infinite in size and infinitely layered, which would actually dive into things like Hilbert space for the SCP cosmology, because again, infinite layered, likely you could argue infinite dimensional cosmology as well, which would be in the high hyperversal category, and the Scarlet King actually surpasses that by leaps and bounds. Now, when the Scarlet King decided to go on a rampage throughout his cosmology, he killed and ate multiple gods here, even the two gods of death. And many of the other gods as well here decided to just bow to him, like just wimped out. And again, I don't blame him, so it's pretty ridiculous. The Scarlet King has been able to do multiple things other than just beating these elder gods into submission, or these over gods, if you will, right? Because again, most of these SCP entities just exist on a much higher plane of existence, some of them being beyond time, space, and dimensions themselves here. Keep in mind, some of these SCPs can also bend narratives themselves, and yet none of these SCPs compare to the Scarlet King. Now, keep in mind, the Scarlet King also has a true form. I believe it's called the Scarlet Demon. Now, the Scarlet Demon, or at least in that form of the Scarlet King here, also was able to create the very concept of a blade. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but again, that is what he created. Now, the Scarlet King possesses pretty much every power and ability. Like, there's really not much of a limit to what he can do. He could warp reality, distort space and time, shake the very foundation of the Tree of Knowledge, if not shake the entire Tree of Knowledge itself, to be honest. And the Tree of Knowledge contains multiple, and I mean multiple concepts, right? And again, the Tree of Knowledge, I think, has two planes or two aspects to it: the infosphere and the nonosphere, which you guys should actually be seeing here pretty soon as well here. So yeah, let me know down below if it's here. Again, I put this video together with all the scans, but again, I have been having some technical difficulties, so please let me know if you guys can see the scans, please. Like, so with that being said here, yeah, the Scarlet King, with all his powers, all his abilities, and keep in mind, this dude really doesn't have a very reasonable weakness, to be honest here. He really hasn't been defeated at all. I mean, I think the only way you could beat him is his own defenses have been like torn down, and then he was beaten, or at least can be harmed by like a weapon or spears that were made from him. I believe that's how it went. I mean, I don't know. The Scarlet King pretty much has a pretty decent track record. Bro was beating elder gods. I think he beat the serpent, who also was a part of the Tree of Knowledge and stuff. Bro was just going on a rampage and just folding everybody. Like, he just didn't care. And keep in mind, some of these higher elder gods or over gods and stuff like that, there can actually shake, create, and destroy these infinite layered multiverses. So there's not really much of a limit to the Scarlet King's power. And again, dude was beating them, and the only way they really got out of it is if they submitted to him. Those who didn't, he either killed, devoured, and absorbed just to add on to his own power, or just, well, that was pretty much it. Bro was just a grade A menace. But let's talk about Unicron. Now, again, I shouldn't have to repeat this, but today we're actually going to go in a bit more detail about the Transformers cosmology. If you guys have watched the previous video and read the description, I was basically giving you guys a simple basic of the Transformers cosmology. Basically, how the universes work, how the multiverses work, where the dimensions are, and where they're placed. All right? So, without further ado, let's actually begin here. And Unicron is able to destroy the entirety of the Transformers Omniverse. All right? So, this Omniverse has many things to it. Now, for starters, obviously, a simple universe is infinite in size, right? And again, an impossibility or a simple thought or action can create a branch universe. This is where you get into the universal streams, a collection of universes put together under one. All right. Each franchise is its own multiverse. Okay. Everything that contributes to them, every thought, every action, every part that is related to that specific continuity, including the games, comics, shows, are a part of that specific continuity and a part of that specific cluster. All right. So what makes it so important? Well, Unicron is a threat to the stable axis of the entire Omniverse, and that is Primus. Keep in mind, Primus himself, who is the highest point of the Tree of Life, which is the crown up here, is a higher dimensional being, much like Unicron. And they're also platonic concepts, meaning they transcend dimensions by the virtue of their existence. Okay? Unicron would pretty much destroy every realm if he was left unchecked. And this has happened before. This is why Primus had to create the 13 original primes to help him keep himself in check. And keep in mind, beings like the Elder Gods, who are able to go around destroying other universes and threaten other cosmologies like Ninja Turtles, which actually dives into Hinduism. And I mean, it's very detailed here. Thank you, Shockwave, for putting this in the Discord and stuff like that. Appreciate it. So, with that being said here, Unicron surpasses these beings quite casually. Now, Unicron himself also has every power and ability you could imagine, just like the Scarlet King. He has reality warping, reality distortion, spatial distortion, temporal distortion. Dude can do whatever he wants, and there is nothing beyond his reach. Even going into, and I'm quoting this by the way, the real world. You see, in Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye, I believe it was number 45, right? The scavengers were able to transcend their own fiction and pretty much just leave it to go into the real world. Basically, Unicron would be able to get them if they even did this. Now, keep in mind, they were toys when they entered the, again, quoting it, real world. Meaning, again, Unicron would be able to threaten even outside or the outer bounds of his own cosmology if he wanted to. He can even threaten the higher realms or the higher dimensions and their entirety. Now, keep in mind, the basic for a multiverse is 17 to 22 spatial dimensions in a brand cosmology. The higher realms transcend that to the point where they make the 17 to 22 multiverses basic. All right? They make them look basic, meaning that they are so much higher in their dimensions, right? That these multiverses are insignificant to them. Meaning that they're just so far beyond these hyperversal multiverses like it's nothing, that threatening to destroy them would cause catastrophic rips or rifts throughout all of time and space. At least, again, towards that continuity specifically. Now, keep in mind, there are many more beings in the Transformers cosmology that Unicron would transcend or pretty much just flat out annihilate, such as the 13 original primes. Again, they are all higher dimensional beings with their powers and abilities as well. And keep in mind, they couldn't stop him without the Matrix of Leadership. Now, this would actually count as Unicron's one and only weakness. However, there is a catch to it. You see, because Unicron is the Chaos Lord, the Lord of Chaos Gods themselves here, Unicron cannot be beaten by the Matrix. The Matrix simply just destroys that avatar. Yes, Unicron himself has a true form. I think that's been stated multiple times. Unicron's true form, like the true forms of the primes, is able to destroy and even consume the entirety of the Transformers Omniverse and the likes of the Tree of Life with the realms above them. Now, Unicron also possesses the ability to conceptually absorb his opponents or anything that is chaotic and destructive. This not only amps him, but actually can allow him to create new bodies that are much stronger than they were before. With Unicron's also higher dimensional existence, this means he can pretty much regulate how much power he gives to those avatars. You know, and kind of think about it, same thing as the Scarlet King. So, and again, these two, dang, now that I think about it, these two really aren't much of on, these two aren't really different on that level here. And I guess we're on the breakdown at this point, so why not, right? So when it comes to Unicron and the Scarlet King, Avatar and True Form, both being omnipresent and, well, powerful chaos entities in their own right here, being able to destroy their respective cosmologies and, well beyond them, right? Scarlet King can't only just destroy these multiverses, these infinite layer multiverses, but also destroy the Tree of Knowledge, which is one of the higher points, I believe, in the SCP cosmology. I could be wrong, and let me know if I am. However, with Unicron, you could actually say that the Transformers cosmology is a bit more detailed, with him having things like quantum mechanics operating within certain universes or certain multiverses, with them also having dimensions that simply transcend their multiverses and that they're able to go to, with, again, a little bit of extra incentive, whether it's from the guiding hand or the 13 original primes. Again, please wait for those videos. And yes, the guiding hand will be able to will be getting their own video as well. So with that being said here, what does it come down to between these two? And in all honesty, with every ability they have, they kind of match each other pretty easily. However, I do think there is one ability that just works out in Unicron's favor, and that's the conceptual absorption. See, we know Scarlet King can absorb his opponents, but we don't know how much of a boost he can honestly get from it here. However, with Unicron, I guess you could say we almost have a gauge for it, but again, at the same time, we don't. However, Unicron's absorption is vastly superior to what the Chaos King can do. You see, Unicron feeds on everything, like everything negative, even about cosmic entities such as the Scarlet King. And in all honesty, if these two actually, like, went about it with each other, I think they probably become friends, or they'd probably become something entirely unholy together because of all the chaotic energy around them. It's very possible that they might just mix and then create something unholy and unimaginable as a whole here. But when it comes down to it, while I do think it is a very high difficulty battle, I do think Unicron might absorb the Chaos King at the end of the day. But that's all I gotta say for today here. I definitely say Unicron takes it high difficulty because, again, these two really don't have a decent advantage over each other because they balance each other so well. You could say it's a draw, but again, I do think Unicron has a slight edge because he has a much better argument for conceptual absorption than the Scarlet King. I'm gonna say Chaos King, I believe here. Did I say Chaos King during this video? I don't know. Maybe I did. Let me know down below. But hey, Y'all have a blessed day. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share it to friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.